Claude just changed email marketing forever. So Anthropic just dropped a connection with your Klaviyo account, and if you haven't been living under a rock, this one has been out for about 2 months, and ever since I've been trying to use it to play around and find better ways to manage our client accounts. I'm talking about connecting Claude directly to your Klaviyo, having it split your product performance by buyers versus non-buyers, surface bundle opportunities you didn't even know existed, figure out what your customers buy next, and audit your entire performance in minutes. We've generated over $52 million in email and SMS revenue, have the best systems in the game, and now we're running this on every single account. So in this video, I'm going to show you some quick tips on how to use it effectively, do a live recording of it step by step. So let's get into it. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to open up Claude, and then you go to settings on the bottom left. You're going to find connectors. You're just going to install Klaviyo, and then you will connect it to the account that you want. If you manage multiple, just do one account at a time and swap between them. From here, this is basically free playing field. You can ask Claude whatever you want. Flow performance, campaign performance, open rates if you're into vanity metrics. But if you want to get into the real sauce, let me show you exactly what I've got for you in this video. So this is the first prompt that you want to use. Essentially, you want a performance breakdown from your data for the past 30, 60, and 90 days. Just to make sure that this video isn't too long, I'm just going to ask for 30 and 60 days. Split the revenue by first-time buyers and returning buyers. Show me which products are converting on a first order versus which ones are converting on a second order, right? And just to speed things up, I will probably use Sonnet 4.6 just because it's faster. But when you do this, I highly suggest you use Opus 4.7, 4.8, or if you're extremely balling, just go Fable. Essentially, while Claude does its thing, what you're looking for here is some products do convert better for first-time buyers, while others convert better on their second purchase. Knowing this essentially is going to change the structure of your campaigns and the way that you split your flows and the products that you feature inside of them. Now, I don't want to show you our clients' data unless it's something pretty surface level, but from here you can basically understand what I mean, right? And then we can go into the second prompt. So for the second prompt, based on my Klaviyo purchase data, are there any product combinations or bundles that customers are buying together that I wouldn't expect? Show me the most common product pairings across all first-time orders last 7 days. Obviously, you can expand this for more, but I just did 7 days simply because this specific brand that we're auditing right now, that I'm demonstrating it with, is a fashion brand, right? So it's a bit seasonal, which means, you know, every 30 days there's some new trend, there's different type of pieces that people want to wear. So based on this, you're going to be able to find some new insights. Now, this is where it gets interesting, especially if you haven't been super analytical or granular with the data behind your placed orders. Claude is going to surface complementary product groupings, specific bundles, or combination opportunities that weren't actually obvious until you asked this question and had the data to look at it. And based on this data, you might actually find the customers who bought product B also bought product A, let's say in the next 30 days. And that's where your next email angle comes from, or specific cross-sell opportunities inside of your flows. And essentially everything is just sitting in your data, and it was pretty invisible until now, unless you were already doing big in-depth reports, like for example with Hyro or any other third-party tools. If you are an extreme coder, you might have just been doing Looker Studio or anything like that. But we use Hyro at our agency, and honestly, it's been very helpful. So this is just a way to make it more accessible to you without you having to use a custom report tool like we do. And now to find the product that people buy from you the most, all you have to do is insert this prompt inside of Claude. So once you know your top product, which if you are at least an average brand owner, you should know which one it is. All you have to do is, based on my Klaviyo purchase data, what do customers most commonly buy on their second order when their first one was product X, and then rank it by frequency. Product X obviously is going to be your hero product. So I'm just going to put a product in here. So now that we have the unexpected first pairings in our first time orders, this is extremely good data to know exactly what multi-item carts to push. And then we can already create custom bundles, because if there's organic demand, we can also create artificial demand through email. Super quick unlock that you can use on your next email campaign or flow. Obviously this is seasonal, but if your brand has products that work year round, this should be a no-brainer. This would take about an hour and a bit of a mental skill to pull this off in Klaviyo. And then obviously you'd have to export it to Google Sheet, do all the boring stuff. But You can do it here instead of Claude really easily with this prompt. And once you have the answer, just basically build this inside of your post-purchase flow. Easy. This becomes a cross-sell for email 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's relatively simple. And to be fair, this is the difference between a generic email that says shop our store versus one that recommends something based on a customer's first order. And now I'm going to give you a piece of advice that a lot of brands overlook. When it comes to the welcome flow and their abandoned checkouts, they think once you set it up once, you're done. Essentially, you should be testing this every 3 months if you can. Obviously, if you have the capacity, if you're already, pulling very decent numbers, and by that I mean a few millions per month, then ideally you should be testing this every single month. And the prompts that you want to use are these ones here. Pull my welcome flow performance for the past 90 days. Show me the placed order rate, click rate, and open rate, and if it's trending up or down. Remember, open rate and click rate, these two are vanity metrics, but it's always good to see if they're trending in the right direction, or at least stabilizing. Compare against standard benchmarks and flag anything that's underperforming. Now, for this, take it with a grain of salt. Some stores are capped when it comes to their welcome flow performance, and some just haven't reached that cap yet. If you think you've done all you can, most likely, if you don't have a very specialized retention team in place, you do have some potential in that flow. What you're looking at is your placed order rate should be at about 10 to 15% across your entire welcome flow. And that means the first email plus every single other thing that comes below it, whether that's an SMS touchpoint, direct mail, WhatsApp, or email. If it's below 5%, you do have a problem in there. Then run this, pull my pop-up opt-in rate, and then compare it with the past 90 days, see if it's trending up or down. Now, another thing that you need to know, just a caveat, pop-up opt-in rate is not the end-all be-all. What you need to do is you need to see pop-up to welcome flow conversion rate, right? If you're testing different offers, different pop-ups, you need to see if having that higher opt-in rate is actually getting either same or higher conversion rate on your welcome flow, or even slightly lower as long as your opt-in rate compensates for that and gets more people inside of the list. And the final prompt, tell me all of the campaigns that I've been sending for the past year, tell me the top 10 and the worst 10, tell me what more campaigns should I be sending and the ones I should never send again. This alone saves you hours of manual work every single month, and now you basically have a robot to tell you what to do. But here's the thing, a robot's a robot. A robot has a lot of content, knowledge, but it does not have wisdom or context inside of your account. So do take everything that it says with a grain of salt and make sure that you're not abusing it. So for example, don't make the longest, most insane chat ever, because the memory is finite. It can only pull certain data sources by as much as it can search. And if you don't index things properly, have specific skills, folders, projects, for it to know exactly what it should compare to, or ideally working with an agency that has their playbooks already plugged in into whatever AI software they're using, then you need to take everything that AI says and analyze it yourself. And I want to be clear about something before I finish this video. This does not replace your email team. It does not replace strategy, human, or judgment. Knowing what angle to run, what offer to test, or the entire context that they have behind your account, or what your customers actually respond to. It doesn't know if this week there's been a heat wave in your area, and it can tell you to send a heat wave related email because anything that's relevant and appropriate is going to perform. What it does remove is the hours of manual work that otherwise you would be spending 3 years ago trying to find all of these things in one go. We still have our team running every account. We still have people behind every single strategy, every single design, copy, and send. Claude just handles the data pooling when it comes to performing surface and also some in-depth audits, but also reports. And these things, they used to take half a day for every single client. So thank God. The brands winning in 2026 are not the ones fighting AI, but the ones that know exactly how to use it the right way. They're the ones building it into how they work. That's exactly what we're doing at Cobalt Club and how we're able to manage accounts at the level that we do. Now, if you want us to handle all of this for your brand completely done for you, just book a call with me personally through the first link in the description. And if you want to go deeper on the full email system that we use across our clients, I just released a 1-hour-long email and SMS marketing masterclass that you can watch by clicking here. See you in the next video.